Hello, my name is Derek Baker, and this is CBD with DB. In this segment, I'm going to discuss something called the Endocannabinoid System, or the ECS. You see, for centuries, people had been using cannabis for a variety of medicinal reasons. They had noticed all kinds of different effects and were using it in a variety of different ways, but they had never actually understood how it was working. The cannabinoids that weren't even discovered till long after the Prohibition of 1937. This prohibition also made research much more difficult and even slowed down the discovery of the cannabinoids as well as what those cannabinoids were actually doing. It wasn't until 1988 that the first receptor sites in the nervous system were actually identified, and not until 1992 did the first endocannabinoid actually get identified. That was called anandamide. An endocannabinoid is actually a cannabinoid that is made within the human body versus a phytocannabinoid, which is made by plants. Shortly after these discoveries, they discovered a few more endocannabinoids and a few more receptor sites in the nervous system. Ultimately, this led to an awareness of what was called the Endocannabinoid System, or ECS. This is a subsystem of our nervous system that appears to be directly responsible for a lot of the dynamic equilibrium of our body and all of the different functioning aspects of our body. If there is a deficiency of the endocannabinoids, then this system does not function correctly and different parts of our body can go out of whack as we become unbalanced. This can lead to a variety of problems, both short-term and long-term. When CBD or the other cannabinoids get into the system, they dovetail directly into these receptor sites and they'll perform specific functions, like the anti-inflammatory aspect of CBD. But the other thing that they'll do is they'll stimulate the body to produce its own cannabinoids, those endocannabinoids. Once the endocannabinoid production has been reintroduced into the system, it's like the body starts to function better because the nervous system has become balanced again. This is why we may see many different results when we're trying to take CBD for just one thing, the anti-inflammatory for my arthritis, but because it went into my system, it helped balance all kinds of things. May reduce my blood pressure, may help out with other issues as well. Now, this is why quite often we hear people talk about CBD and medical marijuana like it's the miracle that's come to us that's going to solve all of our problems. This is not true. However, it does make sense that many of the disorders that we deal with are also control system disorders. They may be caused by a faulty part in the body, or they might be caused by a control system issue. One way to look at it would be like a modern car. If you bought a brand new Corvette and it wasn't functioning properly and you brought it in, it could be that one of those parts were broken, but most likely it's going to be the computer chip is not balanced properly. So if your mechanic didn't first go look at the computer chip and what the sensors were telling it, then we might question the competency of our mechanic if he was going straight to the parts. Well, see, most mechanics actually understand this concept today, and when you bring that car in, the first thing they do is plug into the system to see what the chip is going to tell them. Well, this is a spot where most of our mechanics are actually one step ahead of our doctors. Many of our doctors have never actually heard of the endocannabinoid system because it wasn't discovered till so late in the 1990s, and then it wasn't even taught in med school till 2006. Many of our older doctors were never actually exposed to this information unless they went out and dug it up themselves. Well, I do have to say, after about 20 years of legalization here in California, I can tell you there's quite a lot of studies that are available, many that have been done by reputable doctors and researchers, and all of this information is available at their fingertips if they just go ahead and look, not to mention it's being offered at many medical conventions today. Now, it's not that the endocannabinoid system is the ultimate key to understanding our health. But with the available information that's around today, I sure would like the doctors that I see to be at least familiar with it, and it sure would be nice if they knew a lot more about it than I did. Remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm just some guy who spent the time to research all this for personal reasons, and now I'm sharing it with you. If you have found this to be helpful, please press the like button, subscribe so you can get my videos as they come out in the future, and share this with someone who you think might find this useful or helpful in their own lives. My name is Derek Baker. This has been CBD with DB. Thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate your time.